Morning, y'all. Um, yeah, just woke up with some stuff on my mind resonating from lingering from last night. Discussion at the Tuesday night group, and there was a friend that was discussing and sharing that they're meeting their difficulties, like that's been expressed with some compassion, with some phrases, some kindness, and they said it seemed forced and almost as if they were trying to get rid of the emotions, at any cost, even throwing compassion at it. And I can totally relate to that. I can totally relate. When I was first introduced to the Brahma Viharas, these heart practices that, kindness, compassion, appreciative joy, and equanimity, it just seemed like a bypass. It seemed like prayers. It didn't. I didn't understand that Buddhism was like meditation was bearing down and just being still and letting the thoughts just go away or pushing away or ignoring the thoughts, which it is. But at some point we can start retraining our hearts and our minds, and so I was desperate enough to try anything, and the anger, the judgment, the fear was all there. So I was trying to meet it as best as I can with these compassionate phrases or these kind phrases of, in the beginning it was maybe at ease, maybe at peace, maybe free, and it's like just kind of faking it till I made it, and it was difficult a lot of times, and I feel like that's what they were expressing last night, and in their share. And I do feel like that the wise response to any of our pain, to all pain, is compassion. That doesn't mean that we have to sit in the pain and throw these compassionate phrases at the pain all the time. I mean, it's good to, allow the space with compassion. And like a compassionate friend would listen to your stories, um, see if we can be compassionate and listen to our story, and see what the pain's asking. And we can get caught up in here into this realm of the story. But if we drop in, if we pause and ask, really, what is this story telling me? What does it need? I can drop beneath the story by stop asking why. Why am I feeling this way? But what am I feeling? This thought's going, trying to figure it out. A little bit like with me waking up at 5:30 going, oh man, maybe there's a better answer for this person. In the story of failure, and you're not good enough, and it's like, wow, okay, what am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? And felt, for me, there was a story, not good enough, or not even not good enough wasn't even there yet, but it was you didn't give the right answer. Yeah. And so I dropped beneath, and like, all right, I felt my chest and my throat, tightness in my throat. Like, all right. And then the thoughts would come back, see, I told you, you're not good enough, you're a failure. Okay, for sure. And so just listen to that and listen to it in the body. What am I feeling? Where am I feeling it? All these thoughts, they have a felt sense to them, especially the ones that are sticky. There's the random thoughts, and we can start seeing, we discern what just like, there's just random thoughts coming and going, planning, remembering, judgment. But then there's those sticky ones, usually judgment. It's a sticky one, keeps coming back. If I sit for a minute and get below the why and into the what, okay, there's that self-judgment again, that self-doubt that I've known for a long time. But it began, I didn't know what it was for a long time. Like I would wake up in the morning and have this like heaviness in my stomach, but I didn't even know it was that. I would just wake up with the story of, and it's always been failure. You're not good enough. What did you do? The shame spiral, especially in early recovery for me. It's like, multiple relapses. I had some clean time in my 20s, and then I woke up 40 going, what the hell? Where am I? And I got some clean time underneath. Got some clean time, and those stories were still there. You're not good enough. Starting again at 40, what the heck you think you're doing, kind of thing. It's like, wow, you're a failure. And so I just wake up, and I got into meditation about a year sober, and those were some of the phrases of meeting that pain, that thing with that story with some kindness, some compassion. It was basically kindness. May I be at ease, may I be at peace. And just like, get out of my bed, boom, may I be at ease, may I have peace. But later on, I started getting deeper into the practice of mindfulness, of meditation, of Buddhist teachings, and we started discussing and the teaching of the third foundation of the mindfulness of the mind. And I feel like, between the second and third foundation, the second foundation being, what's pleasant and unpleasant in our experience. And then the mindfulness of the mind is turning towards those thoughts and emotions and knowing when it's pleasant or unpleasant, and these unpleasant ones that are sticky for me, start feeling where they live in the body, this somatic experience of these feelings, these thoughts. And so I started doing that, and I would go, oh, there's a heaviness in my belly. Okay, so I put my hand there, and just may you be at ease, may you be at peace, holding that. And what do you need? What else is there? So we start investigating the body, the felt sense of these thoughts. The belly, the chest, a fluttering, a tightness, the shoulders, the legs, the belly. When we start investigating the what and where, the story tends to get a little quieter. So we can start seeing where the stories live in the body. And we can watch the impermanent nature of these emotions as well. The story usually kind of dissipates a little bit. If you keep coming back into the body, where the somatic experience is, that's something that's real. The stories aren't real anymore. That happened in the past, or may or may not happen in the future, but this experience here in my throat, my chest, that's real. So I can allow space for that, breathe into that, and maybe see what else is there too, and come back to it. There's some softening. We begin to loosen doubt and fear and anxiety's grip, like grip it has on it. We just start seeing, we start witnessing. I heard someone say that, I think it was Jack Kornfield maybe, that that sees fear is not fear. So if we're witnessing fear and anxiety in the body, we're not in it anymore. We're stepping back from it. We're not like this. And our awareness begins to wash over our difficulties, just the awareness. Some calm, kind awareness. And it starts washing over like, I like to think of like water constantly washing over jagged rocks. And the longer the water washes over those rocks, the smoother they get, the softer they get. So my experience is the more I've just held this experience with kind awareness, the difficulties kind of smooth out a little bit. And it doesn't mean I don't have difficulties anymore. I'm just less reactive to them, less pushing away, less throwing anything at it, compassionate phrases even, you know. So first knowing, and then I can, may this part be at ease. May this, be free. So we meet our experience with wisdom, just some knowing what I'm feeling, where I feel it, and some care, a little bit of care. And always, there's compassion that always follows, I feel. If we can lead with wisdom and care. And I think there's a huge component in this, which can do all that stuff. And it's a training, and it's practicing. But we can also know when we've touched our experience enough, when it's just that's enough, it hurts too much, I don't need to bear down anymore. We've touched the edges and we can lean back out of it. And we need to move. So discerning when, okay, that's enough. You know, not just like it comes up, I'm going like this, but just like, oh, okay. I'm gonna move. You know, and what I mean by moving is take a walk, look around. Take a walk at the beach, the woods, talk with a friend, move the story. We don't have to bear down on our experience just to get through it, you know. Yeah, my little brother, he's like, I embrace my pain. And I always feel like he's grabbing his pain in a headlock. I embrace my pain. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see that you're embracing your pain. You know, I love him so much. But I do feel like the answer is in us. You know, the answer to our freedom, the answer to the end of suffering is within us. We just need to pause and listen. And these are the tools that help us pause and listen. Yeah. So I hope this is beneficial. This has helped me a little bit. I woke up pretty early this morning, you know. Fueled by good enough and some failure, but it was a healthy sense of doubt. I can see that my doubt sometimes can help me pause and just question how I'm presenting this practice, because I want to be skillful as possible. You know, sometimes I can reflect, and it was a great teaching for me last night of, wait a minute, what does meeting our pain look like for me? What is meeting my pain? How can I articulate that? And it needs to be articulated here, and that's been my experience, and hope that's beneficial. And yeah, till next time, peace.